Good morning to you from the Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas. We're here for weekend number 3 of Ferrari Challenge North America. We had a day of racing yesterday. We've got another one to do today, which means 4 qualifying sessions, followed by 2 races later on this afternoon. Qualifying order will be Shell Am, then Shell, then Pirelli Am, then Pirelli. My name is Andrew Coley. Alongside me, Tony Villander. Nina Jade Paul is reporting from the pits. And this is a very special weekend because it's a Ferrari Racing Days weekend, and we'll give you a bit more about that in a minute. We started the season over at Thermal, brilliant track, not so much elevation change there. Same at Sebring, of course, an old World War II airfield, legendary track, big challenge for the drivers with the bumps. Now we're at the Circuit of the Americas, proper purpose-built Formula One venue. Next up, Laguna Seca, that's a bit of a roller coaster, along with Sonoma as well. Then we finish at Road America for the US part of the series, and those drivers who wish to head across the Atlantic to the Finale Mondiale will do battle for the honours at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Here is the track here at COTA. The long run up the hill to turn 1. Big red. Tony Villander, he's a big red as well, sitting in his Ferrari shirt this morning. We're good to go, aren't we?
Yeah, what a great weekend so far. Track itself is one of the best in the world. It has all. It has high-speed corners, hard braking zones, some elevation changes like you mentioned, influenced by many famous tracks around the world. Here we see some images from turn 8 and 9, some issues coming out of 9 yesterday, few cars spinning and hitting the inside wall. We see a lot of grip on racetrack.
And off the racetrack as well, people using more track than we normally see.
Yeah, in the SS we are running the low curb configuration because of the F1 and 499P Modificata race cars, and that's why for challenge cars this allows a little bit more opportunities to cut the curbs, to cut the racing lines, and the S is a little bit different this time. But we had great action yesterday and good solid racing.
Yeah, it was good fun. Third member of our team is ready to go, Nina Jade Paul.
Good morning from the pit lane, and as you can see, the conditions are a little bit different today. There are some ominous clouds in the sky, the wind has picked up, it's cooler. We don't think any rain will hit during this session, but needless to say, the conditions are mixed. The track conditions are going to be very different to yesterday. We have Shell Am up first, and quite a few of the drivers were caught out by that yellow flag and the session ending early yesterday. So I think you can expect the drivers to go out and push from the start, get that banker lap in to prevent the same thing happening again. But I'm excited. It's the final day here at COTA, so let's have a good one.
Thank you, Nina Jade. Lovely to see you down there in pit lane. She's right, it is grey, Tony. It's very different than yesterday. I don't know if the temperatures are that different, and we should miss the rain. The rain is forecast potentially for 11, which wouldn't affect us because our races are about 2:30 this afternoon. So let's see.
Yeah, I'm expecting track condition be pretty similar compared to yesterday morning. The rain is in the area. There is some forecast for the rain. Does it hit the racetrack or not? We will see in the next couple of hours.
I wouldn't mind. I'd quite like it. You know,
yeah,
just
that would always
get.
things get a little bit more exciting. Melissa Kozira here in the picture. She was on it and right timing as well. Like Nina Jade mentioned yesterday, we had a red flag mid-session, so some of the drivers were not able to post a lap time, waiting for those last minutes, and what was a costly mistake. So I think most of the drivers now are ready, and when we get to green, they hit the track.
I saw Jamie Garrett last night jumping on the left track. She was disappointed with how yesterday had gone. I think she said she was punted off, basically. Well, that's what she felt. I think we saw it. I think we saw her go round late in the race, but there was a lot going on, wasn't there, in some of the races yesterday. Our cameraman is risking it for the shot this morning, but it does look good. So yeah, saw Jamie. She was all fired up, ready to go. Of course, she had that brilliant 1-2 right there, lined up in the same order with Melissa Kozira last time out at Sebring. The first ever 1-2 in Ferrari Challenge for female drivers, which is really impressive. Great to have them here with us. And Tony, we went out last night. We went to the Ferrari Racing Days evening event, and it was great, wasn't it?
They were really amazing. We had the Western style, cowboy style evening with an amazing drone show. That was something special. And yeah, people were having fun, on a good mood. But you can still see the racing drivers, they had their mind a little bit already for the next day, for this morning's early qualifying. But good fun, and always always enjoy a lot these events.
I spent some time with some of the drivers' families last night, which was lovely. They were having a great time, and I think that's one of the lovely things about Casa Ferrari in terms of hospitality, but also that evening event. So that, you know, the one family here, it was the first one they've been to this year. Some of them, it was the first one they've been to ever, and they were like, why is everybody going home so early? And I was like, because they have to drive tomorrow. And of course, they're not in the car, so in their head, they were like, this is a lovely evening, we're having a few drinks, like, I don't understand why nobody's staying up. And I was like, they have to drive. Like, and if you're not aware of the regulations in motorsport, it is 0.0. There is no alcohol ever in motorsport. As you can imagine, this is a professional sport. It's we use the same drugs rules as WADA with in terms of what the FIA specifies. So, you know, the drivers all know that, and they're approaching this as professional drivers. And yeah, so they were all going to bed early last night. Good for them. Look at this, Jocelyn already to get track position for quali,
yeah,
particularly after yesterday.
Yeah, in Shelam we have a big grid of cars, and it's about the traffic as well, trying to avoid other drivers going slow when you're on your fast lap. Just 1-2 corners where you miss the normal speed and the lap time is way slower. So all the drivers, you can see they're fired up and they want to take their own place, that free part of the track when the tires are ready for the fast lap.
I think John Lennon yesterday, if I remember correctly, got a penalty for a jump start. Nina Jade was down in pit lane, and then apparently he served the penalty, which was a drive-through, but because it was behind the safety car, he had to serve it again. So he ended up with a not fun day, you know. And of course, yeah, that's a shocker, isn't it? He's taken it just as the safety car was out. Here's Bernard Gomez. Let's get our timing screens up and running in commentary here. Yesterday, Tony, we reckoned it was lap 3, wasn't it, minimum to get yourself underway?
Yeah, 2-3 warm-up laps, and then you have another 2-3 flyers. With the Shell-Am drivers, sometimes it takes a little bit more time, more laps. Pirelli drivers, I would say, are more on it, 1 lap, 2 laps, and they can park the car to the pits. Jeffrey Nürnberg yesterday, 141, was one of the drivers that didn't post a lap time in qualifying.
Yes.
Started P14 or 15 and finished the race P4.
It's incredible. That was a brilliant performance, wasn't it?
And with the safety car, we didn't have many green flag laps. No. So
he must have absolutely sized through the field, didn't he? Yeah. I want to see that onboard. I reckon, you know, it'd be like one of those classic, you know, F1 onboards where they go past 10 cars on lap 1. So yeah, good for Jeffrey. Track temperature is 28.5, air temperature 25.1, that's in Celsius. That's similar to yesterday. Humidity's high, look at 88%.
Yeah, humidity is way higher.
Cloudy,
I think track temp is maybe lower, maybe similar in the morning. In the afternoon was yesterday once more was really hot. And yeah, I would say that the track is in good condition. We mentioned about the traffic. Jeffrey Nürnberg here running into traffic with 101.
Yeah, the 101 is Michael Moyes, who is currently at the top of the leaderboard, but that's with a lap time of about 3 minutes because they're all just getting now. Kenneth Sweder, Kenneth I was hanging out with yesterday. So Kenneth is the dad, and the son, another Kenneth Sweder, is taking part in Club Challenge. So Kenneth is new to all of this and having an absolutely brilliant time. His family were there last night. I know they're in hospitality. They were absolutely lovely, really, really nice people. And they were, yeah, just fascinated by the whole racing scene, having a great time. So great to have them along. Good morning to you, and we'll see you in a little while, I'm sure. Jeffrey Nürnberger, 2:14.6, so, and a 2:12 now for Paul Lynn. I saw Paul Lynn last night as well, so it was very nice to spend some time with the drivers. At the track, I often go to the awning and you go, right, is the driver here? And they're not. You know, they're out in the car, or they're grabbing a quick lunch, or they're looking at data, you know, looking at their onboards. Some of them, of course, drive a GT3 car as well. We've even got people this weekend driving F1 cars in between with F1 Clienti. So it's a busy weekend, and actually it was nice last night to spend some time talking to people where they weren't looking at a laptop.
Yeah, on track, drivers are always working for that performance, trying to find out the improvements with their driver coach, with their team, going through the setup. Oh, very wide racing line. And maybe in the events like last night, they're more chilled, so the mindset is a bit different.
Yeah, very much. So you can see the leaderboard filling up. There is an enormous entry, 21 cars out on track right now for Copper Shell Am. Fabian Sperman, who yesterday
had a good start.
Yeah, he made a brilliant pass. I think he qualified 4th and got up to P2 straight at the start, and then applied a fair bit of pressure into Melissa Kozira, who, to be fair, survived 2 restarts. And of course the original start. She really got away at the original start, and she was saying yesterday after the race, I'm really pleased because last year that wasn't what she did, and this year she's just got it in her head how to do it more.
Yeah, she had also a very strong opening lap at Sebring, so it shows that the confidence level is higher. Oh, Fabian Sperman really using the track limits throughout the lap. Just on the edge.
Just inside.
Yeah.
So they're using the outside white line here. So you have to. We think it's roughly speaking. Yeah, it's judged by the stewards on whether it was on purpose or not, and whether an advantage was gained. So Sperman with a 2:07.7. How's that, Tony?
Yeah, yesterday Melissa posted 2:08.1 in a 7-8 minute qualifying week.
Yeah.
It was cut short, so let's see if Melissa has more pace today. She was confident after yesterday's qualifying, saying that without the red flags, she could have gone to low 2:07s.
Yeah, and she thought that was what she would need. There you go. She moves up into P3, now P4, so 2.1 off. That's not her quick lap. She is going to get traffic, I think. She did say to me again last night, I tried to get enough space. But there is a big pace differential in Copper-Chaland because these are the beginning rungs. And obviously people like Melissa will fully expect to move up next year.
That is a very good point, because it's always difficult to judge. Do I just slow down, or I just go for it and overtake the other cars? Slowing down even 3-4 seconds, 1 lap, and then you gain the other driver, you gain back the distance in the next lap, and then you're back in traffic again. So that's always a bit complicated and difficult to judge. Do I move forward with full speed, or I just back down, slow speed lap, and then go for it and end up in the traffic again?
And it's so difficult as well because, yeah, as you say, you want to get there and pass them, but it's where? You know, where do you catch them? If you catch them somewhere difficult, you can lose a ton of time. Ideally, you want to catch them at one of the big overtaking opportunities here, which is turn 1. Turn 11 is a possibility, and turn 12 as well. We didn't see that as much yesterday as I think we thought we might.
Talking about slipstream, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it happens with these challenge cars. We have a very, very long back straight, and also the front straight is relatively long, but no real opportunities just to gain the speed. Cars are pretty similar in top speed, in acceleration. It's just those tight corners where the track is really wide. We saw some optimistic overtaking maneuvers where cars went a little bit too deep and running into back of the other car. I think
that's track limits.
Yeah,
for
that's
me.
track limits.
Yeah, and in fact, it's not a quicker lap, so it doesn't matter. But that would be so. That was a good example of what would be considered track limits. All 4 wheels over the outside white line.
Yeah, and also in Pirelli yesterday, Mitchell Green, his fastest lap time was taken away, and so very costly, let's say, mistakes, and you need to be careful.
Kozira, this is what we were talking about, Tony, about trying to find space. She is in a little bit of traffic here. She's in a decent train. It's quick cars at least. Lance Corley, Melissa Kozira behind her in the 176. Sorry, he's Corley behind her. Does she go quicker here? No, not this time.
Melissa is not in a good place right now.
No.
Because this will affect her braking points.
She's going to go on inside. Look at that. Decisive. So that might cost her time on this lap, Tony, but look at the track in front of her. There was a lot of clear track.
Yeah, this was very important move to create clear track and back to the normal rhythm. She's lost more or less 2 laps now with the traffic.
Yeah, and with 5 minutes to go, at the minute she's on row number 3. Melissa is the championship leader, if you're wondering. She extended her lead to 6 points instead of 2. Jeffrey Nunberg, yeah, great performance.
Yeah, very well done so far. P2. Jeffrey sometimes in qualifying, pace is very strong, sometimes a little bit less, but often in the races he puts on a good show. A lot of overtaking and gaining places like he did yesterday.
So Kozira, what was Kozira's time yesterday? 2:08.1.
Yeah.
So she went quicker yesterday than Sperman's gone, and she felt she had that quicker lap. So in theory, it's in there. How many laps in are we? 3-4 laps. Probably for these guys, there would still be the opportunity on the tyres to get the ultimate lap.
Yeah, I mean the pace Melissa has done so far, just because of the traffic, she's missing 2 seconds. Almost 1.7 seconds from yesterday's lap time. So the tires have still enough life on them, so she just needs a good lap.
Tim Dweek was in P3 and goes to the pole. 2:07.3. That's a great lap time.
Yeah,
Kozira yesterday said she felt a low 7 would be pole, and Tim Dweek there has really thrown down a fantastic lap. He goes 6/10 quicker than Fabian Sperman, and Fabian Sperman's just done a 2:08.0, so he's gone quicker as well. So definitely still life in the tyres. Dweek was only on lap 4. Sperman's on lap 5. Kozira drops to P7. She's on lap 4. Danny Patel up in P4. That's a brilliant performance. He qualified well yesterday and then had a shocker in the race. Here comes Kozira. What's Melissa done on this one? Remember, she was compromised in turn 1. And she moves up immediately to P3, so she's done a 2:08.3. That's only 2/10 off her fast time from yesterday. This is the lap, Tony, that she's got to get it right because she's out of traffic. She's not compromised in turn 1.
Yeah, this is the right moment for her now. She improved over a second just by having a clear lap. And the pole sitter right now, Tim Dweek, yesterday he had contact. The car was on the pits, if you remember, during the race.
Yeah.
There was damage on the front right. So good comeback from yesterday's not so good performance in the race now in qualifying so far.
That was Befella there in the 131. You can see he had to lift slightly to stay within track limits, so maybe a little bit too quick into turn 20. Interesting again, talking with Melissa last night, her quick lap, she actually ran wide on turn 19. She said a long way wide. So similar to that, I guess. And her coach was on the radio going, push, push, go, 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 and she still got the pole lap. 2 minutes remaining, so we should see anybody crossing the line about now. We'll get this and one more, but anybody on track, I know that, yeah, actually, yes, people who are in the lap already will get another one if they want it. 2:07.3, yeah, so at the minute, the top of the leaderboard is still people who've done very quick laps. Lundberg's lifted 2:17.2. So he's either resting the tyres for a lap, and he's only done 3 laps actually. So Jeffrey Nunberg banged that lap in really early. Here comes Fabian Sperman looking to try and take it back again. It was 2:07.3 for Dweek. Sperman doesn't go quicker. It is a 2:08.4 for Sperman. 4/10 off his best. Here's Nunberg. So Nunberg sitting in P4. Did he rest the tyres for a lap, or is he coming in? That looks like an aggressive run to me. So Nunberg then has rested the tyres. Has he got a good lap in here? Comes around the final corner, uses all the track and the pavement on the outside, and moves up a place. Kozira goes down once, and Nunberg goes a little bit quicker, and we're still seeing best laps on this last lap. Kozira's just gone 2:07.9. Kozira moves up to P2. So great job by Melissa. She had that. She's got one more if she wants it. 0.6 off Tim Dweek, but she's in front of Fabian, who of course is her championship rival. Here she is now. Is this another push lap? I think it is, Tony.
Yeah, it looks like she's still on it. She lost a little bit of momentum early.
Oh my God, Melissa.
A little oversteer moment going into the SS.
She's got the car by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah. Yeah, so she lost a little bit in the beginning because of traffic, and now, anyway, this performance is really good. She's in a good place for the race start, and she's had a very strong opening laps in several race starts already this year.
Heard the story with her and Bill last night of how they got into it. So they were doing track days in road cars at their home track. Just loved it, and then. Yeah, they realised they were going quicker and quicker, and they were like, okay, if we have a crash here, we're in a road car, like, we should get a race car. So they went and got a race car, and they came on with a 488. Anyway, they came here, and and Bill entered Melissa. He was like, well, let's get that 488 as a track car, and then he entered her for Ferrari Challenge. She was like, I'm not ready. But she obviously was, and then Matt Dusenberry said to him, look, if you want a 296, we can get you one, and so they got a 296, and the rest, he says, she's only been doing it a couple of years. Like, really impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive, and she's having a good run. You mentioned several times she won last year in Italy, the 2 race starts.
Yeah.
This year she has already won many races. Yesterday, very good performance. So
3 in a row yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the 2 at Sebring, that one, I think it was, you said yesterday, it was 5 wins from 7 starts.
Yeah.
If you go back to Italy last year. So checker flag has fallen. Dweek is on the pole. Kozira runs very wide in 19. Not sure whether that will be an allowed lap or not, but she continues the lap anyway over the line. Berman's got just in front of her. Can she respond? not this time round. So Fabian Sperman with a 2:07.7 on his last lap, just nips onto the front row. But yeah, top three all going under the pole time yesterday. Here's Jamie Garrett. Garrett looking good as well. They're neighbours. If you saw our feature yesterday, Garrett and Kozira are neighbours, which is cool. Checker flag falls, and Jamie Garrett goes P16. Who's still out on track? We've got a few out there. Gomez, Bifella. Bifella did well, moving up to P8 there. O'Neill is still out there as well. But that's it now. I think everybody backed off. Of course, checker flag out. It's just whether or not any of the runners who are still circulating go quicker. There we are then. Pole position for Tim Dweet. Good job. Fabian Sperman, P2, Melissa Kozira, P3. They are your championship fighters at the front. Jeffrey Nunberg finished P4 yesterday after qualifying, where did you say, P15, P14?
Yeah, somewhere around that. I would say P14 or P15.
I made it all the...
Yeah, and only...
Yeah, 15th, yeah.
Yeah, only a few green flag race laps, and then he did a lot of overtaking already at the race start.
You've got to get out. We've got to do the interview. It's great, isn't it? I love it because some of them it's their first pole or they've not had many poles, and yeah, it's just super exciting. Looking at Tim, this year he's had a couple of podiums. He had a fastest lap at Sebring. He hasn't had the pole so far, so this might be Tim Dweet's first pole. We'll find out when he gets out of the car and Nina Jade has a chat with him. Always love seeing people get their first pole position because it's just that joyous moment. I've done it. I was the fastest person out there on track. This is the stadium section. Yeah, very cool, look. Okay, it's not fine. We do that. Let's do the interview. We're good. Let's have a look at the results then in a moment. Nunberg's rolling back to the pits. There's the roller coaster, which is being built here at COTA. Not too much of a roller coaster for the drivers this morning. A nice, sensible session. No red flags. Tim Dweet with the pole. 2:08.3, some 0.8 quicker than yesterday. Fabian Sperman just got back onto the front row with his final lap. Melissa Kozira with a great lap as well to go under the 2:08 marker. Jeffrey Nunberg 4th compared to yesterday's 15th, and he made it up 10 places. What will he do from there? Then Michael Moyes, Kenneth Sweder, that's a great result, P6. Danny Patel likewise in 7th, and Adam Beffler in 8th. Good drives there. Big field, John Lennon, Steve Check, Lance Cooley, Bernard Gomez, Paul Lynn, Henry Hummel, Joseph O'Neill down to P15, and then Daniel Roberts, Jamie Garrett, Edvard Tugin, Lewis Peruskia, Helen Chu, and Jeffrey Keel. Nina Jade Paul is down with Tim Dweet.
Tim, your first pole position, congratulations. I mean, with the cloud cover, the track is cooler today. The conditions are slightly different. Would you say that suited you?
It did. The track is much better than yesterday afternoon. It was nice and cool. I think we had a great timing to where we got out and had several free laps. My crew did an awesome job, so I think we've got the car repaired from yesterday, and it feels fast. So we're excited, and it feels good.
Really unlucky what happened in the race yesterday, Tim. Is today a bit of redemption?
You bet. I made a mistake in turn 1 and then back in turn 11 too. So that was 2 mistakes in half a lap. So that was on me. So my crew did an awesome job getting us back together, and hopefully today we do much better.
Well, congratulations. Go well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, congratulations to Tim Dweet. Brilliant drive. Lovely to hear him shout out his crew there doing the work on the car yesterday to get it back in top shape for this morning. That's what they've done. And he's gone out and rewarded them with pole positions, and now he's got to see if he can convert it to the win later on today. There is that lovely Texas flag right at the far end. Underneath it you can see the S's, which are based on Silverstone's very high-speed corners at Maggots Beckett's. And that's where these drivers are heading now. Get their tyres warmed up. Copper Shell out for quali. Bit of sideways there in the background from somebody up at the top of the hill. And I think this is the race with Lightning McQueen, isn't it? We've got Lightning McQueen livery with full-on, the sun visor had the eyes on it and everything yesterday. Great fun. Andrew Parker in the ice cream machine. Where did Parker qualify yesterday? Just looking back at my grids. And in a sea of names, I can't find his name, which is terrible, isn't it? I know he's on there somewhere. There he is. Yeah, actually yesterday down in P13. So we're hoping for better today, because Parker, of course, was a race winner at Sebring. P2, the first race at Sebring. So Andrew Parker, well capable of very good pace. Didn't go his way yesterday in quite the same way. Brad Evans driving off into the distance. Different colours on the number boards on the cars as well, which signify what category they are in. Oh, there's Lightning McQueen running a bit deep at the end of the straight. It's such a good livery, I love it.
And yeah, behind there's Michael Owens, yesterday on pole, and didn't have a good race start. I think he finished P3.
Let me get the results and I'll tell you. He says
He had good qualifying, but in the race...
yes, he was P3. Yeah, well remembered, mate. Well remembered.
Couple of places. And there was a good fight for the lead.
Andrew Parker, he had the damage yesterday, didn't he, from the spin in turn 1. He got collected.
Yeah, Roy.
Yes, yes,
yeah.
Correct. Yeah, so the front left corner, if I remember correctly, of his car was quite badly damaged. So his crew have done a good job again getting that ready for today. Yesterday's pole time, Tony, for these guys?
So yesterday, Michael Owens did 206.499.
So we've seen it's gone a bit quicker in Coppershell Am, but of course they didn't have a full session yesterday, so it's quite hard for us to tell really if track conditions are any better, or if it's more. I mean, the drivers certainly seemed to think it was okay out there. It was nice, but they didn't have a full session yesterday, so hard to judge the pace differential between the 2 days.
Yeah, track is pretty similar, but I think every new tire set you put, drivers find more speed. They find the limit better. So similar lap time or even lower 206. I think 206 flat could be something very special for this category.
Everybody cruising around at the minute. You see Blake Rosser a minute ago, who was trying to find a bit of space. This is Javier Rodriguez Borgio. They're all just warming up the tyres, warming up the brakes, looking for a gap in traffic. Interesting here, not what Tim Tweet said a minute ago. They got the pit exit bang on. He said, I had several clear laps. Lewis Flory.
Yeah, everybody's still just getting ready for those important laps. Really slow speed at this stage for most of the drivers. No lap times yet on the board.
None of note anyway. Yeah, 2.5 minutes is definitely not going to get you the pole, is it? Lots of drivers actually. Blake Rosser took a 3:20 for his first lap, so definitely trying to find some space.
Yeah, now this is already a second slower lap for Michael Owens, so I think that by the end of this lap he will decide to go for it.
And he'll be watching his mirrors here, won't he? Because the car behind him, he won't want in front. Parker behind him, he'll want to claim that piece of track. Likewise, Parker will be thinking, look, if you're going to go this slowly, I'm going to come around you and I'll get my fast lap in. But tricky now, whether you back off or not. Yeah, okay, this is more like it. So now you can see building up the pace so that you run into the final corners 19 and 20 at race pace. More like it. So this is our first push lap then from Owens, who was yesterday's pole. 206.5 basically, wasn't it? Just dipped under by 1/1000th to a 0.499. We'll find out pretty quickly, I think, whether or not the tyres are up to temperature.
Yeah, the extra minutes for this year's qualifying is allowing drivers to take a really smooth start for the qualifying and no rush to post a lap time earlier.
That was Glenn Moss we saw a moment ago.
Yeah, multiple colors on the race car.
Yeah.
From grey to dark.
A few people definitely. Rod in Unesi as well. A few people with front bumpers repaired from the last few days. Remember they had 3 days of tests as well. You see Unesi there just warming the tyres up gently on the run down the straight. Getting a feel for things. So Javier Rodriguez Borgio goes fastest with a 209.7, but we know that's not a proper quick lap yet. Chuck Whittle Didn't get the chance to see Chuck yesterday and find out why he's not in his beautiful chrome liveried car. The T on the side of his car means test car, so that's basically a spare car. Changed his mind there about what gear he was in, didn't he, on the exit, downshifted just on the exit. These turbocharged cars, there is a lot of torque, so you can be a gear higher, but there are times still where you need to knock it down a cog.
Yeah, I think the rhythm is getting faster now. We are seeing first lap times 2:07.5. Let's see, Ferrari.
Yeah, Flory goes to P6, but 3.7 off.
Orsini is on it.
Yeah, final corner for Orsini. Currently sitting in P5. This could be a quick one then. Is this going to go to the pole? No, P2. So just a 10th off, 2:07.5. And Owens, yesterday's pole sitter, has he got it in the tank? Yeah, oh no, he hasn't. So he goes 1/100th quicker than Orsini. So Chuck Whittle's time of a 2:07.5 looking pretty decent at the minute. But everybody on the timing screen is going quicker. Rose over the line into P6. That bumpy uphill braking zone so tricky because gravity is with you when you're going uphill. You can brake super late, but put the bumps in the mix as well, and it's not as easy as you think.
Whoa, hitting that curb in turn 19.
Yeah, Blake Rosser looking to move up. He's P9 currently. Absolutely loving racing again. Used to do some club stuff back in the day. Goes pole 2:06.9. Blake Rosser with a great lap.
Yeah, this is the first series lap time now. He's still a couple of tenths off from yesterday's pole position. Hard fight here in two cars.
Rosser yesterday, yeah, he himself did a 2:06.5, so there's another 4 tenths on his performance, but as you say, 2:06.4. Big old push from Whittle here. Chuck Whittle hoping to go quicker than he went last time round. He was 6 tenths off after Rosser's lap time came through. And Whittle goes top, 2:06.8. That would have been enough yesterday for P4 on the grid, so still some time to come, I think.
Yeah, let's see Owens next time when he crosses the timing and scoring.
A bit sideways on the exit there, Tony. Of turn 1. Flory, currently P11. Oh, that is the limit.
The edge, yeah.
That, when we talk about track limits, that's the limit of it. 4.6 off. So Lewis is. I think Lewis is still was still on warm-up laps. Yeah, this was only his 3rd lap, so maybe decided to take one more lap to get things up to temperature.
Sideways. Big moment going into turn 1.
Held it though.
Yeah, just in the entry turning point into turn 1, the car went a little bit of sideways.
Here comes Parker. This is the bit in the session where we often see people heading up to the top. He moves up to P8. Better place to start than yesterday. Put yourself in the middle of the pack and you have got a bit of work to do in turn 1. Oh no!
Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, it's Lightning
Orsini.
McQueen. Kevin Orsini has parked it. Is he in? I think he is in the wall, but maybe he's just pulled off to the side of the track. Hard to tell. Yeah, he's on. He's okay. I think that's probably going to be at least a full course yellow.
This is.
Or it might. It depends whether they think it's in a safe place.
Yeah, this is before turn 17.
So it might be in a. That might be in a safe enough place because the exit of 16 before it is a slow corner and he's off. I mean, yeah, he's off to the left. But we've not seen anyone have any issues there. So race control level, the cameras, that's borderline track limits again. So if you put all 4 wheels over the outside, that's Borgio. But watch him because he was in P5 and race control will quite swiftly take action if they think it isn't right. Charlie Menard goes P3. Michael Owens, yesterday's pole man, look, is in P6. So they have now, with this car stuck on track, you'd want to finish this lap, wouldn't you, on fire, just in case they decide to shut the session down. I think he might be far enough off. I also think he might have driven it off there and parked it, Tony.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward place if there was a driver mistake. Like you mentioned, the previous corner is very slow speed, turn 16. It's actually right here, and coming out of this turn, the car that is parked is on the left-hand
Yeah,
side.
I don't see a fair
Around
play.
this area, yeah.
Good decision, I think, from race control there. Yeah, it's way off racing line, isn't it? And he has parked it, and it is a red flag. It's a red flag. There we go. So I doubt they'll restart that. Well, they won't, because with 4 minutes to go, you'd take a 2-minute warm-up lap and you'd only get 1 lap in. Blake Rosser, 206.6 on his last lap. Front right suspension's gone. So he has pulled off to the side of the track. It's not high speed, as you can see. I mean, he is in contact. Well, he's only just there. Sitting in the car, which is the safe place to be. And, yeah, so damage to the front right suspension. Didn't see why, but Blake Rosser with the 206.6 has managed to bang that lap in just before the red flag came out and will take the pole. Yesterday he was in P2. Michael Owens, yesterday's pole sitter, down in P6. Whittle was, where was Whittle yesterday? Was in come on Andrew, read your sheet, P8, and he's up in P2. And Menard yesterday qualified in P3 and he's P3 again today. Brad Evans, in fact, the second row, Menard and Evans, is the same as it was yesterday. But this man, Blake Rosser, 206.6, takes the pole. Good job. Rosser's having a good season.
Yeah, it shows he has a lot of confidence with his race car, and also the second qualifying, he's still improving. Put a new set of tires, and the lap times are better or better compared to the other drivers. Owens a bit disappointing because yesterday he was on pole and now 1 second off. So
Yes,
big
big
variation.
variation.
Vittel from P7, P8 from yesterday, now P2. So
Ross is the man with the consistency, really, Tony. You know, he won those first 2 races, if you remember, in Shell Am and was moved up to Shell. He then got pole the win and the fastest lap at Sebring. The second he went up at upper class. Yesterday he was P2. So his worst result at the minute is a P8 in the second race at Sebring, and that's still a decent result. Taking the pole here, you know, if he converts that to another win, he's looking very, very strong to me at the top of the standings. Saw him yesterday in the saloon. The whole event was held at like a Western-themed venue. It was very cool, like an old-school saloon, and yeah, a lovely old timber church and everything. It was like being on the scene of a movie. And he was there having a good time, and he bangs on the roof, pole position, job done. A few hugs from the team as well. We spent a good 20 minutes yesterday watching the F1 cars together up in hospitality, up in Casa Ferrari, looking out over the start-finish straight here. V8s and V10s screaming down the start straight. It was absolutely brilliant with F1 Cliente here on Ferrari Racing Days as well. But of course, we are focused on Ferrari Challenge North America. Blake Rosser with the pole from Chuck Whittle and Charlie Menard. Then Evans, Borgio, Owens, Orsini and Dayton down to P number 8. And then Parker, Rose, Flory, Unesi, Moss, Lully and Carroll down to P15. Those last 2 drivers not setting a time this morning. You can see the weather here at COTA is a bit grey in the background. No rain so far. We wouldn't mind it if it came for the Pirelli runners, just to make things a bit trickier for them. But the forecast, I think, says that we're good. Nina J. Paul is down with our man Blake Rosser, pole sitter.
Blake, pole position. We know yesterday you were compromised a little bit during quali, but you got the job done today.
Yeah, I actually took second yesterday.
Yes.
Want to win today.
You were compromised yesterday in quali.
Yes, I was, but it was awesome. It's a little hot out there today, especially just without the AC running, and you know, with these clouds, you're not sure if the track's gonna be slippery. So, but I had no traffic, which was great. It was kind of just all in my head. So, a few little mistakes here and there, but I'm glad I got it done. So.
You were quick in the race yesterday. So, what do you reckon? Can you convert this to a win, Blake?
That's what I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna try to stay out front the whole time. I know there's some fast guys behind me, and they want me bad. So, but I'm not gonna make it easy for them for sure.
Well, congratulations. I'm pleased to give you your pole position award, Blake.
Right on.
Right on indeed. Yes, thumbs up. Blake Rosser takes the pole. Great drive to get that lap done. Interesting what you said about the air conditioning. So these cars do have air conditioning, but obviously you give up a couple of horsepower if you want to run it. So you switch it off just to get that extra bit of power. And then maybe if it was race conditions and you were going to get too hot at that point, then you put the aircon on, because the loss of power is less important than the driver becoming overheated. So it's a tactical decision, and qualifying, certainly the right decision is to switch it off. So yeah, Blake Rosser got it done. Pole out front, 206 points. Let me look at the time screen, 6:01. Yesterday's pole which I've just parked because we're moving on to Pirelli. Typically, yesterday's pole was the 206.4. Yeah, so within a couple of tenths of yesterday's pole, but a good 4 tenths clear of Chuck Whittle in P2. Right, we're going to get ourselves ready for Trofeo Pirelli. They'll be out on track in a moment. They're just getting the cars all warmed up. I know you've seen a bit of qualifying already, but let's have a ride around this fantastic circuit on board with Lewis Flory.
Hey guys, Lewis Flory here, car number 183, racing with Comp. Here we are back where it all began for me, Circuit of the Americas, and I'm going to take you on a lap around this track. So coming up the front straight, heading into turn 1, what you're looking for is a mark of about 125 feet for your brake zone. Coming in, trying to catch tight to this apex. I don't use all the track out this side to set myself up for going into turn 2. Turn 2, trying to be as strong on the throttle as you can, but get down to this curve and track all the way out, coming wide for 3. It's a half crack of the throttle, then touch the brakes going into the S's here. Find your way coming out. Here you got to be patient, stay a little bit wide, then bring it back in, throttle down, trying to get down to turn 7, catch just that apex right there. Coming up into 3rd gear here, bring it over to the right, getting as far inside as I can, and then flat on the gas all the way down, trying to get down to turn 10 as fast as possible, using every bit of the track that they're allowing us. Braking right here at the grass, hard on the brakes, bring it in tight, catch this apex, and jump on the gas as fast as you can for that famous back straight going down here at COTA. Going down the back straight, it's a long straight. But what you're looking for is you're looking for that 150-foot marker. And once again, as we come up to it, we're going to get very heavy on the brakes, very aggressive on the brakes. Stay wide, stay patient, catch this inside apex, and again, come out wide and send it on down the next corner. Here, it's a light use of the brake, but it's a long braking area to get that nose down into that apex, and then you're trying to find the grip and get it all the way down to the next corner. Here, another kind of light but long braking zone, catching that apex, and then hard on the gas as fast as you can and set it up wide to be ready to bring it in for the carousel. Through the carousel, it's a little bit of management of throttle and grip, trying to stay on the very edge of grip with the throttle as aggressive as you can, and now comes down to a super fast corner, 4th gear, turn 19, use all the track out to the right. Coming up here, we're going to brake right at the sidewalk at the right for turn 20, 3rd gear, apex, and very aggressively throttle out using every bit of the track. And that is a lap at the Circuit of the Americas.
Great stuff there from Lewis Flory. End of the straight yesterday, some of the Shell drivers said they were hitting 170 miles an hour, so I imagine the Pirelli drivers will be just a little bit ahead of that. Yeah, it's quick. 150-yard mark he was saying was his, or was it 150 feet? I forgot what he said, but yeah, it was the braking point at the end of the straight. And that's the point where you're like, you really want to hit the brakes, but you kind of it's almost like, wait, okay, now hit the brakes. The late braking, I think, is one of the hardest skills to learn for track driving for people that are new to it.
Yeah, and combination of braking and how to manage the speed going into the corner. So let's say from braking, with the current race cars, always ABS involved, so many drivers can brake and give the hard pressure, but how to modulate and not to stop the car too much, and where you actually made a lot of time difference is the rolling speed into the corner. So braking itself, going down the gears, you can really teach and show to the other drivers that how it's done, but then it's a lot about sensibility as well, how to get things done the right way.
Yeah, and rotation, isn't it? How do you come off the brake as you're turning the car in, and if you stay on the brake, and again, you can get away with a lot more with ABS than without in terms of turning in on the brake, but
yeah, ABS is something that was more presented during my career, and ABS is something that initially I think for us old school drivers was upsetting a little bit, because actual moment like now you see the race cars, when you're turning into the corner, if the ABS comes in, you lose the apex.
You run wide.
You run wide.
Yeah.
So
you don't want it, because we're deliberately trying to upset the car to turn in.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You want the
and I want to
rotation.
be on the edge of locking the inside wheel, and I want to carry the weight into the corner. So with a little bit of brake pressure, you actually lower lower the front of the car and you create some more grip to the front tires.
Yeah.
So
it's funny, all these things make your chances of a mistake much less, but the chance to get the
but you're also a
ultimate,
little bit more limited.
yeah, the ultimate lap, the window for it is further away. So yeah, I mean, it's a general rule: the quicker you get, the less assistance you want. I like full feeling from everything. Tony, you know my background's rallying, so a lot of it is on the loose. And at that point, you definitely don't want ABS, because half the time you're backing the car sideways into a corner to generate the turn in that you want, because the trees are not fun to hit. Luckily here we've got an F1 circuit, but still you can use... The other thing you used to be able to do is bang a car down a gear, and use the clatter of the transmission again to add that rotation.
Yeah, the same thing happens on the road courses. You go lower gear, higher RPM to help the rotation. If you are on a higher gear with a low RPM, you normally create a little bit more understeer, and if the setup is not there or the racing line is not perfect, you just run off the front. It's not biting and the car is not rotating enough. So those techniques you use also on the road courses, F1 style racetracks.
So much that I think everybody thinks the disciplines are so different. They're not really.
I think the basics in many different motorsport is similar. You really need to feel the race car to go fast. You need to know and understand a little bit. You don't need to be an engineer of the race car, but basic stuff you need to know.
Yes.
And to understand between understeer, oversteer, and where do you need more performance? Where do you need more grip? Is it the front axle or the rear axle, and how the balance changes? And also to understand when you put new tires, like now in qualifying, it often covers many of the issues that then later on with the used tires.
Then you start to find it. Actually, you want to dial it in when the car's a bit looser, don't you?
Yes.
That's why it's so valuable, I think, going out in not ideal conditions. I went into a very little bit of karting, but I used to love going out on slicks in the wet, because you get some finesse pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was funny at the younger age in Finland, at least, maybe in other countries as well. The first categories, there were no rain tires. So when we went out on rain, we had the slick tires. So you had to drive your kart just on the edge and not to have the optimum grip from the rain tires. So that was quite interesting at the age of 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. But it turns out you Finns are pretty good at driving. There's one or two titles among you.
1 in a million, and we are 5 million. So
yeah. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. Finland is that there was a lovely old saying in rally, which was, if you want to win, you hire a Finn. But of course, Finns have been at the top of motorsport in F1 as well. Fantastic. It's a wonderful country if you've never been, by the way. They're lovely people. Sometimes they don't say a lot, but what they do say is always interesting. So everybody getting the tyres warmed up. Trofeo Pirelli AM now, followed by Trofeo Pirelli. So we get quicker and quicker as these sessions go on. Understeer and oversteer. So we will have some people watching who don't know what they are. Again, we'll give you the proper explanation in a minute, but the fun one is understeer is when you see what you hit, and oversteer is when you feel it. And that's because understeer, Tony, is going straight on, isn't it? When
you don't have the perfect feeling and the grip with the front tires. You need to use more steering angle that you would like to use, and the rear is very stable, solid. Turn into the corners, mid-corner, mid to exit. Neutral car, just on the edge of having very precise front, but not too much oversteer, so the rear stays still on the road the right way. Oversteer is where you have the counter steer, and you really need to play with the throttle, steering wheel, and control the rear.
Yeah.
And the front is the dominant one, and the rear is lacking grip. So always fighting those issues every track, every weekend, and trying to find the best balance.
And back in the old days, makes it sound really old, doesn't it? But I think you saw much more oversteer in the likes of F1. You watched that famous Senna lap from is it Suzuka with the onboard in the McLaren, and he's working so hard, and there's oversteer everywhere. Now you see one bit of oversteer on an F1 quali lap, and you're like, it's lost a temp there, and it's so much more accurate now.
And the one driver we don't want to see oversteer is Mitchell Green. Yesterday, not a perfect run, and Mitchell for sure wants to come back on the top in qualifying, and that way makes his life a bit easier in the race. Mitchell is driving everything, F1, F2 cars, also in Monaco, historic Formula 1 cars, 296 GT3 cars. So is on everything. Ferrari cars on a frozen lake. So
Yeah, he
Mitchell
loves
Green,
it. But he does love it, doesn't
Yeah.
he? Simulator driving
Very, very
as well.
passionate.
He's a good guy, Mitchell. Yesterday he had his lap taken away. Nina Jade is down in pit lane, and she says there are light drops of rain. Yeah, that's she. Yeah, she like Nina.
So you want to post your lap time now?
Yeah, you need to get in. Nina Jade, how's it down pit lane? We're just starting to see it on the screen of Mitchell Green.
I think I might have cursed it because I said rain isn't expected in this session, and yes, I can confirm light drops of rain in the pit lane. We see mechanics holding their hands out above their tents to feel it with their hands. It's not very heavy at this stage, but if they want to get a lap in, they have to do it now.
Thank you, Nina Jade. There we go. She's also said that race controller just checking Blake Ross's fast lap for track limits, so fair enough. Mitchell Green, 206.8. What was the benchmark yesterday, Tony Pirelli-Am?
204.4 from Jay Logan.
So obviously, with it being damp, that might not now be possible in terms of a lap time. And Jay Logan does a 205.3, so it is possible to go much quicker. But of course, we are only on lap 2. So Mitchell Green really went for that on only his second lap, didn't he? Because he has to in case it rains.
Yeah, and these conditions now, there's less training, less driver coach effect. Now you need to feel the racetrack. For a driver, when you see the raindrops on the windshield, it's difficult to judge when is the time that the slick tire is not having enough grip anymore. But I think the rain so far is quite light, and the lap times are still improving by a lot. Now Barrows goes P3.
I've opened the blind, Tony, to try and see if it's raining, but if it is, it's such fine rain that it's really hard for us to see, looking out at the track surface as well from the window. I thought it looked a little more reflective on the track coming up towards turn 1, but it's certainly not going to be wet, is it? But you would feel the difference.
Yeah, but I think still the track is in optimum condition. Yeah, because the rain is so light, the track is warm, and it takes a very big amount of rain before you start having bigger issues, and I think the rain is very light right now. And all the drivers, they realize the situation.
Yeah.
Now the warm-up and everything is faster. The whole procedure is now different, and you just want to post your best lap time as soon as you can.
Bernier, 205.3, goes to the pole. Mitchell Green's down in P8 at the minute, but this is his first proper quick lap. Normally, for wet weather tyres, you need puddles, don't you? You'd still run a slick right through a wet track, even if it gets wet.
Yeah, and also you need to be careful for the amount of rain. Like you said, the rain tire is very soft. It has certain blocks on the tire, and you need a lot of rain.
Sorry to
Wow, that's
interrupt,
good.
204.8. So, and he was very careful on the last corner, Tony, which is where he lost his lap yesterday. He didn't use all the road on the exit. Yeah, go on, sorry, you were saying
Mitchell and his championship really needed this lap time now.
He needs to get up there. Yeah, sorry, finish what you were saying about the wets.
Yeah, you need a lot of rain. You need it's almost standing water on the track.
Yeah.
If there's not enough rain, it doesn't work.
You want the water pumping through the treads, don't you? It's almost suction the tyre onto the track. So yeah, Rubo goes top, 204.4. He's gone 4 tenths quicker again. So, is that the same as yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, so Joe Rubo then may have found ultimate pace there. That's roughly what we were on yesterday, looking at Martin Burrows.
Burrows had a contact yesterday in the race.
Yeah.
In turn 2 downhill.
Yes, side by side, wasn't it? Oh, that's track limit, surely. Does move up to P4, but I think it's all 4 over the white line, and say they're just, the guys in race control have a tough job here because they have to judge each one individually. Porter up to P4. Michael Porter yesterday started in P12, so this is better. Maybe he didn't post a lap time yesterday. Harry Chung. Final corner, and you can see their outside wheels on the flat, inside wheels just on the curb. That's all the track and a little bit more. Right the way over the line, doesn't improve though, only a second off. Look at to be fair here, we've got the top 8 are all within a second of each other, so it is tight at the top. Matthew Diel coming through. He's in 19, this is the exit of 19, and then straddle that curb, look, inside wheel, not so important. The car's loaded to the outside, and then on the gas and away. Diel was P10.
Yeah, left a little bit of margin at the exit of last turn.
He did go quicker, but not by enough to move up a place. And Mitchell Green now sitting in P3. What does he do this time round? Goes P2. Just gets ahead of Jan Bernier. Let me see, in terms of championship, we did get, of course, they're equal on points, I remember now. So Mitchell Green and Jan Bernier ended yesterday equal on points at the top of the table. So this will actually, well, if one of them got pole, they'd get the point and that would separate them again. Otherwise, they're going into this next race this afternoon as joint championship leaders, Mitchell Green and Jan Bernier. Joe Rubbo, I don't think, it's Joe's first race weekend. So Joe will not be in that championship fight. He got P3 yesterday in the race in Pirelli Am. And he qualified P3 yesterday as well. So Rubbo looking for the pole. Frank Chang. It was Chang yesterday who had the contact with Burrows, I believe, on the exit of turn 2 when they didn't see each other. And it was side by side. It was a real flat slap, if you like, of the two cars hitting each other. So while it was at a high speed and Burrows went round, Chang actually held on. Finished P4 on the road. Here comes Jan Bernier. Love Bernier's livery just because it's so easy to spot him. 3 minutes remaining. I think the rain stopped, but Nina J can message us and let us know. Still being down there in pit lane. We got the rain emojis come through a few minutes ago. Great to have Nina J down there. She gets to talk to the guys who are on pit wall, who are in touch with race control, so we can always try and get the information nice and early. Here comes Bernier to finish his lap. So sitting in P3, he's 1/1000th of a second behind Mitchell Green. These two just can't stay away from each other. 1,000th of a second in it. Can Bernier get him? That's right on the white line. And he doesn't. So there's 1/1000th in it between them. That last one was a 204.851, so he's 0.3 off his best. Mitchell Green's last one was the 204.5. Here comes DL coming up from P10, Matthew. Where are we? Moves up one ahead of Frank Chang. Now we've got the top 9 within 1.2. Jay Logan coming through P4 currently. Logan yesterday was on the pole with a 204.4. This isn't a quick lap though. Logan's cruising. So Logan cruising round. If he's going to start a flyer, there's only 2 minutes left. So that's Logan done for the session. He has no lap time left. So even if he starts to push now, he may have an issue, or he may just have decided that was it. He could have bailed on the previous lap. He didn't. I noticed he didn't use all the track in 19, so I figured he wasn't flat out. Burrows. I don't think Burrows is going quickly either, so look for him to peel off left into the pit lane, maybe. Oh, no, it's hard to tell from that angle. I don't think he's flat out, do you?
Yeah, he could do one more lap.
No, he's cruising.
Yeah, but he could get before the checkered
True.
flag. Let's see if he goes to the pits, parks the car. He's P8 right now. Let's see.
No, mate.
Yeah, he's back to the pits.
Yeah, he is, yeah. So Burrows has called time.
Well, very tight
8th.
qualifying, like you mentioned on the top.
Yeah. Yeah,
Little bit
you
more
needed
than a 10.
you needed your best lap, didn't you, if you wanted to get a good position?
But the few raindrops got the qualifying straight away a little bit more lively.
Yeah,
Everything
got him
was-
going, didn't
yes.
it? So I need a lap.
Yeah, things started to happen quicker.
Bernier in the background is coming round, but not sure he's going to go anymore here. That was Harry Chung. No, Bernier's going in as well. Mitchell Green did his last lap as a 2:05, and that's his lap number 5, so I'm pretty sure Mitchell will park it as well. So I am going to call it and say that Joe Rubbo's got the pole. Is that Mitchell Green on a big push about to do? No, I think we are on board. Are we with him? Yes, we are. Yeah, no, he's +5. Look on his dash, it tells him that he's +6 seconds up, so he's not on a push lap. He could go for one more, but he doesn't. So Mitchell Green goes in, and he will start on the front row by 1/1000th of a second. Mitchell Green's on the front row instead of row 2. That's a good place to be, certainly compared to yesterday. So now he can get himself out of the traffic. What we've got to see is he's got to have the race pace as well. But Green starts there, but it's Rubbo's pole. Joe Rubbo, nicely done. Yesterday started P3. So same side of the grid, but one row further up. Congratulations to Joe. There we are. Matthew DL may be still on a push lap, we think. This is the long right-hander just... no, this is out the back. This is 8, isn't it? 8 and 9. See the car moving around still. He's in P8, DL, so... Yeah, he's definitely still on it at the back, isn't he? That's coming onto the back straight. Careful not to cross the curb there. What you don't want to do, where the curb has a serrated, a raised back edge, you don't want to risk damaging the inside tyre walls. That's why he straddles the curb the whole way to the end of the curb, and then you come back on the track. Nice and late on the brakes. This is into 12, where you can run wide, as Tony Villander has said all weekend. There you go. And that gives you good speed up. These corners in this section here, this was inspired by the stadium section at Hockenheim. Sachs curve, isn't it? The long left-hander at Hockenheim. I think it is the long open hairpin. Very famous German track, DTM, and all the rest of it. Some brilliant footage from there over the years. F1 as well. We went out and had a wander around the old circuit there into the forest, which was cool.
Yeah, the old layout in Hockenheim was fast.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So Matty DL going to be the last person to set a quick lap. He's in P8 at the minute. Oh no, what a shame. Like, he just came a bit too hot into the final corner and he had to lift. So 205.9. It was yeah, he might have gone quicker if he'd got the last corner right. He lost 4/10 on that lap, and maybe that was in that last corner. Checker flag is out. Joe Rubbo is your pole man. Now that's how you want the tower, solo. Private viewing of the session. Right, Nina Jade has already found our pole man, Joe Rubbo. Let's hear from him.
Joe, pole position at your home race. Amazing. You qualified P3 yesterday. You finished P3 in the race.
Yes,
You've
ma'am.
done two better. Congratulations.
Thank you very, very much. I mean, the guys did some great work on the car for setup-wise, and Ryan Eversley coaching me on the microphone is always an unfair advantage. The 111 competition, Ferrari Long Island team just did an amazing job and kept me calm in the car. And yeah, just, you know, follow the track and take what it gives you and trust the tires and the grip and this amazing Ferrari Challenge race car and bring it home. Yeah.
Bring it home. You're already home, Joe. So think about it. Did you get a little bit of a competitive advantage? You know this track well.
Well, I've had many, many races on this track. You know, a lot of the good ones you don't remember. I remember all the bad ones, though. I remember all the mistakes, and making a mistake at home is really bad. It feels really awful. There's a lot of pressure, so I was able to stay calm. Yesterday in the car when I got in for qualifying, I was like, I can feel my heartbeat in my neck. So this morning I was a lot more calm. I just, you know, said my prayers and take what the Lord gives me. Amen.
Well, good luck for the race, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Forza Ferrari!
I love it. Proper bit of Italian at the end there with the accent and everything. And also, I don't know if you noticed, he's had the Longhorns on his crash helmet. So as he took his crash helmet off when he got in the car, he had the big Texas Longhorn logo. Very cool indeed. There's the Texas flag. It's a home pole for Joe Rubbo. Mitchell Green, crucially on the front row ahead of his championship rival, Jan Bernier. They are tied on points still now because neither of them got the pole, and they were 1/1000th of a second apart. They are the leaders in Trofeo Pirelli Am. Then Jay Logan, Harry Chung, Kevin Gutierrez, Michael Porter, Matthew DL getting P8. Might have gone quicker on that last lap. Burrows 9th, Chang 10th, Venceslas 11th, and Hopkins in P12. We have one category still to come, and that is Trofeo Pirelli, our quickest drivers. It was a crash bang wallop session for them yesterday, and by that I mean they just got it done. They went out, 2 warm-up laps, Kaminsky banged in the pole, and it was game over. Lovely rotation. The slow-mo shows there the rotation in the middle of the corner, Tony.
Yeah, the slow-mo pictures are very beautiful. Also the liveries, we mentioned many times some beautiful liveries on the Ferrari Challenge cars. Pirelli category, a little bit less drivers, but the speed is there. Now the car leading the field here, Johnny Kaminsky, like you mentioned yesterday, just, if I remember correctly, 1 fast lap, and he was 8/10 clear of the rest of the field. Controlled the race yesterday really well at the restarts, everything, and this young man has a lot of confidence. And the pole positions and the race wins are the perfect showdown how you grow as a driver. When you get it done once, you know you can do it again, and he's the driver to follow in this qualifying session. Manny Franco sometimes struggling a bit in qualifying with the white and blue livery, but then in the races Manny Franco is very strong. He won the race 2 in thermal and just showed to everybody with the tire life and his racecraft, the experience he's bringing from IMSA races, so the long distance races, endurance racing. And also interesting was to follow yesterday Manny Franco's racing line, 17-18.
Yes,
using a very
tighter.
tight line and to help rotate the car and maybe use a little bit less the front left tire.
Going to be interesting to see. Yesterday, of course, we didn't really get to find out whether that saved anything in tyres because of those full course yellows. So if we have a clean race today, we might get a better idea on how much hard work it's going to be in terms of those grip levels. Tony mentioned Johnny Kaminsky and getting it done once, and he's and how that helps. He's actually got it done 5 times in a row, hasn't he? So can Kaminsky make it 6 from 6 here and maintain his perfect pole position record? It'll be a little bit in his head now, okay. But having got the first 5, he's going to go, I want them all, isn't he? you know, as a driver, it's just, we know he's being very professional. He's not going to do anything stupid, but I think in his head he'll be like, I want the whole lot, clean sweep the season. I bet no one's done that before.
Yeah, each driver on these things have been different. For me personally, statistics, less importance, but when you go out in qualifying, you obviously want to perform in a good level, and then the disappointment is there if you didn't do a good lap.
Yeah.
And then if it's enough for the pole position, very well and very nice feeling, but important thing is to be awake, do your best job in qualifying at the right time. All these drivers, they have a plan, lap 3, lap 4, this is where I'm going to post the fastest lap time and stick with the plan.
Yeah. Joe Rubbo said, didn't he, on the previous session, it's super disappointing if you make a mistake. David Bitton here again for Sunday's race. Good to see how he gets on.
Yeah, David did a test here a couple of weeks ago. It was raining. He said, if it rains, I'm very strong.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
2 days of pouring rain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I know a number of the drivers came and were like, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
It's raining the whole time we were here. But as we were saying, that finesse is really valuable. It is, obviously, lots of people shy away from going out in the wet, and I understand that because obviously you can bin a chassis, and that's very expensive. But it's so valuable to go out, even if you don't go completely to the limit, and just feel what the car is doing underneath you. And then that finesse can be used in the dry as well, just with a finer level of understanding of what the car's doing underneath you. Ice driving. We spoke about this. I know you run the Ferrari ice driving program in Europe. And again, with my background in rally, I often think any drivers who do what I call slippery surface driving, I think it's a massive advantage. We know, like the likes of Mitchell Green going to the ice driving program, it's that understanding again, because race driving is so much about having the car perfectly underneath. Don't slide the front, don't slide the rear, that when it happens sometimes, I think drivers then struggle. Now, if you take the drivers who have done some either gravel driving or ice driving, particularly these guys who want to finesse in that very final bit, I think it really helps.
Yeah, it gives you another feeling and taking the car to the limit in completely different situation, and use the steering wheel differently, use the brake and the throttle differently, and
the weight transfer as well.
Everything to understand the pendulum effect.
The transitions, yeah.
How to put the car sideways first to the opposite way and then turn it around for the corner. So for sure that helps. And yeah, me personally, even being from Finland, I haven't done a lot of ice or snow driving with an actual race car, but for sure it helps. And since we were kids, we were on snow with everything. We were with snowmobiles, with everything that had an engine on it. So it does help.
Do you do much yourself when you run the ice driving program? Do you get in the cars?
Last year I did a lot. We did a lot of filming. I did all the guests running, all the passengers that wanted to have a ride. I was driving it. This year I had a little bit of issue with my wrist.
remember.
Yeah, with my wrist.
You mentioned snowmobiles a minute ago.
Yes. And yeah, the first year we did a lot of stuff. Almost 2 days full with all the filming and everything what we did.
Franco there with his wheels right on the very edge of the white line. That's the absolute limit. 2:07.2 for Kaminsky. That's his second warm-up lap. Bear in mind that'd be enough for pole in most of the other categories. So now this will be the lap. Yes, okay, Kaminsky, this will be his big push lap. Yesterday, one lap for the pole. The curb ran him a little bit deep there, Tony. Maybe deeper than he would like to have gone.
Yeah, he took the center of the higher curb with his tire, and the car is bouncing. We saw the same thing yesterday. When he's really on the fast lap, the car is moving quite a lot, and he's still able to carry the speed but still it looks a bit rough. But he, through the S's for sure, he's one of the fastest of these Pirelli drivers.
I love to see the car moving around. That for me is special. You know, I think when everything's perfect, you don't see it moving around. You don't realise the effort that's going in. I think when you see someone really having the car by the scruff of the neck again.
And I would say in the acceleration from 11, no traction control, just on the edge of oversteer, but still doing the right distance in acceleration. So looking a very strong lap so far.
Into 12 on the bumps now, gets in towards the apex, he'll open it up, and he uses enough of the curb on the outside. Watch him through here, and we'll compare his line later to Manny Franco.
Very tight.
Yeah, super tight through the double right-hander. Then we got the lefts, and then we got the super long right, haven't we? The carousel, some drivers call it. So this is that stadium section inspired by Hockenheim, then the long right-hander.
Didn't use the track all the way to the right. I would say he didn't back off. Did he back off on this lap?
Oh, I think he's still on it.
He's still on it?
Yeah, the car's still moving around.
He left a lot of.
Brian Cook 204.8 is the target at the moment. Kaminsky did a 202.8 yesterday. Goes down an extra gear right the way out over the line. Kaminsky goes top 203.5, so 7/10 off his time from yesterday. But Tony, we saw the moment in the S's, and we saw another little moment later in the lap, so Kaminsky could maybe go quicker. Franco comes up 0.3 of a second, slots into P2. Grinzovic up into P3, that's a good lap, plus 1.2. Grinzovic was 204.8 just now. Yesterday did a 204.4, so actually yesterday he went 0.4 quicker and ended up at the back of the grid. So I think there's still some lap time to come here from everybody.
Yeah, I think Johnny's lap was not as good as it was yesterday, straight away. Some moments in the S's, like you mentioned, between 3 and 6, and then a little bit of hesitation at the slow speed corners, 13, 14, 15, 16, and the exit of 16, the minimum speed didn't take him all the way to the edge of the track, so he left a lot of car with the exit curb. So let's see if his second lap is still better. Manny Franco is 4/10 behind him.
Nina Jade raining again, heavier than before, so it's literally tiny little showers, but that might have an effect on whether or not we can, whether or not we get, yeah, Kaminsky. Kaminsky was stopped on circuit, and he's now trying to get out of the way. Is he get off the line, Johnny?
Did he have a spin in the S's?
I don't know. He did.
Okay, just backed off.
So here's Kaminsky.
Just slow down.
Yeah, but he pulls off and stops completely. And normally if you're doing that, it's to reset
Maybe
the car.
he did a full reset.
Yes, you switch off the power switch. So do the lights go out? Yes, they do.
Master reset.
Full reset. So that's normally if you feel there's some sort of software issue that you want to
Sensor, dash, power steering.
So full reset. So at the minute, and Clark's gone quickest. So Clark's gone quickest while we're looking at all this. Yesterday, Jeremy Clark was P2. He had a 203.6. He's done a 203.3 today. That wouldn't have been enough yesterday. Kaminsky yesterday did a 202.8, but maybe with some drizzle out there on the track and the fact that Kaminsky has had to park it. So Johnny's got a decision to make now, Tony, whether he goes, I'm on the front row, don't worry about it. If it's raining, if there is a significant drizzle, the team might say, forget it, mate, it's not going to happen. Or you go, I need to go flat out for 2 more laps. I've got to try and take the pole back.
Yeah, maybe you jinxed. How do you say?
Yeah, jinxed it.
Yeah. 6 in a row.
Yeah. Sorry, Johnny. Sorry,
yeah, everybody's
mate.
still improving, so
Okay,
the track
so
condition is there.
Oh, no. Perina's off.
S's. Turn 6.
Yeah, big. Look at the spin. Look at the marks across. So Perina's gone a long way across, and that might mean that Kaminsky's not going to get his shot at pole. Here it is. It was one of the last elements.
And this tire set.
Red flag. Sorry, Tony.
There will be a big flat spot on all 4 tires. So he was very wide on the last part of the S's. He was all the way to the far left, and then.
Has he dropped it between 6 and 7, or is it prior to that? Is it 6?
After 5. After 5, and he went here.
Yeah.
Before 6. And Johnny's back to the pits. Obviously, red flag, but he's qualifying. The one lap we saw wasn't the cleanest, and then he had to stop on track for an issue, got restarted, and then red flag.
So they're taking the tyre pressures anyway, which will partly be for data, just to see what the temps were compared to lap times, etc. But also they may be holding out some hope that it's going to get restarted with 4 minutes to go. It's not, Tony, is it?
Yeah, let's see if they.
Yesterday
they Yeah, and yesterday, even there was 6-7 minutes on the clock, and they called the session off. So
Yeah, because of how many cars we've got here. Kaminsky's not getting out yet, so they are waiting to see whether or not the session might restart. He's still got his lid on. Start the engine. Okay, so they've seen the Perina is on a rope, and they're going to get that. There's Brian at the side of the track. They're hoping this could go, Tony, because if they get the rope and pull the car out of the gravel, he's out. Take the strap off the front. If Perina can restart this car, he can get circulating, and we could go for one more run. But it will have to be outlap and one shot at the pole. Okay, so that's it. Safety car. So the safety vehicle is out of the way. Perina is on his way. This could go green flag now. Are they going to green flag the session? 3 minutes. The clock hasn't stopped, so they can. They can. It's not like yesterday where we're losing time. We had a barrier repair yesterday. So a little discussion there. Kaminsky heads out to the red lights at the end of pit lane. So this could be fun. This could be a really nice ending to the qualifying session. Is anybody else going to go back out with Johnny Kaminsky? He's going for one freaky fast lap. See if he can nick the pole back from Jeremy Clark. Green flag. Kaminsky goes out. Okay, it's on. Red flag still flashing at the back. No, it's gone off. So the indicator was flashing red at the back of pit lane. But that may be as it goes around the lap and the indicators go off. So Kaminsky now then. Tony, talk us through this. Tyres and what you're feeling in terms of, the temperature. He hasn't been sat there for long. What's he got to do here to get this done?
So all the issues he had with the car and the lap wasn't clean. The peak of the tire is probably gone, but there's still quite a bigger margin to the lap time he did yesterday. He did 202.9. And now he's 7 tenths slower. So peak of the tire, the difference he was able to pull yesterday, maybe he can fight for the pole position. He would need a 3/10 improvement. He's preparing now. You need to go with a decent speed, so build up the temperature now on this one out lap, and then if the car is working well, then you start for your last lap the maximum. You see the predicted lap time on the dash all the time, and that's it. And now the others, they need to wait. They need to wait, and what's happening, who's going to get the pole. So Johnny will see live time during his lap where he's at. If he's purple on dash, go for it.
Grinzovic has gone out as well. Bit on Favre. Roberto Perina will be coming in. Grinzovic giving up the track position there. This is Brad Favre. But I'm looking forward to seeing Kaminsky's lap when he gets there. We'll follow these cars around, and I'm sure we're going to see Johnny with a big old push. And we saw the little mistake last time in the S's. It needs to be a good lap, as Tony Villander has already brilliantly said. There is, with the margin he had yesterday, there should be enough left in the tyres for him to get a lap done. But Jeremy Clark's lap is great too, and Perina's still looking for a lap, of course. Yeah, Perina was 6.7 off, so he hasn't set a quick lap. So this is where Perina dropped it before.
But his car is all over the place.
And you said the tyres would be flat spotted anyway from the spin as well, Tony. He hasn't had time to go in and change the tyres. So.
Yeah, I'm very surprised to see that he wants to. The car looks very soft over the pumps, and even at high speed going downhill, the turn 2 car was really wild, and also in the S's it's all over the place where he previously lost the control of his car. And surprised to see that he wants to still do a lap time.
And dirty tyres as well. From having been in. So Perina on the exit of turn 11. Where is Kaminsky and how hard is he going? 203.5. So remember the gap, he's just under 3/10. Perina's backed off. Right, Perina's gone, so he's out of this. Perina's going to be P8. So it's all about now whether Kaminsky can do it or not. Here he is, so Johnny Kaminsky. He's up in turn 8. No, I think he's backed off. You think he has?
Yeah, it doesn't look.
He used a lot more curb than that in the previous run,
yeah,
so maybe this then, rather than a push lap, Tony, is a systems check lap. If he's done the full reset on the car and he wasn't happy with something before, maybe this is a more of an installation lap. That's a shame. I was really hoping to see a ragged scruff of the neck lap. Okay, let's see who else has got it then. So David Bitton looking for a decent lap here. He's down in P6 at the moment, but he's still on it, and he cuts the curves on the inside. You've done some coaching with David.
Yeah, I've been to his home circuit to do some go-kart stuff, and then he was just on the edge of starting with the Ferrari Challenge, and he still does some go-karts to maintain his fitness and also to help his racecraft and experience and everything. Very interesting young man that still has the pure speed, talent, and good car control. He just needs a little bit more experience.
Well, he's gaining that experience in Ferrari Challenge. He only racing the Sundays at the moment. And here he is down into turn 12, nicely on the apex. Don't think he's backed off so far. He was plus 2.2. How far in front was... No, he has now, I think. Oh, maybe not. It's hard to tell.
I think he's on it.
He's still on it.
Yeah.
Still on it. He was... yeah, he's a good... He's 0.9 off the car in front of him, which is Grintovich.
Yeah, I think he's going to the flag.
Through that long right-hander, so hard to tell. Yeah, he's still pushing. You can hear the Pirelli screaming through turn 19, and he's going to come down for the braking zone 20. So Bitton looking to move up from P6. Grintovich 0.9 ahead of him, comes over the line, and no, he stays where he is. So his time was at 205.8, and his best is at 205.5. Grintovich looks backed off to me. Favre might still be on it. Brad Favre, oh, he's definitely still on it. The nose of the car gets the rear sideways right out to the limit of track limits. Brad Favre here down in P7 would love to come up at least a row if he can. Favre on it right the way out to the side of the road, and he moves up one place, so he does go up a row, just goes a little bit quicker. Favre's lap time there at 205.3. That's it then. Qualifying is done for Ferrari Challenge North America here at COTA. We're on day 2 of our double header. It's Ferrari racing days this weekend as well. So F1 Clienti is here. Sport Prototipi Clienti as well with a 499p modificata. So it's a fun weekend. And someone who's going to be having a lot of fun is Jeremy Clark. He was P2 yesterday. He's gone one better today, and he's got the pole.
Jeremy, you previously won the Pirelli Championship. You're back for fun, you said, and that was pretty fun. Pole position, mega lap.
Yeah, it's been really fun this weekend to get back in the car and, you know, really kind of transition myself away from the LMP2 back to the Ferrari, and it's been a really fun weekend so far.
Hoping for the win then?
Absolutely. Let's see if I can keep those guys behind me.
Well, good luck. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
There we go. No messing about. Previous champion racing LMP2. He's a serious guy, isn't he? And he's done a great lap to get the pole here. And now it remains to be seen whether he can hold on to that later on today. I'd love to see him give the championship regulars a run for their money. If he's won the series before, it wouldn't be in the 296 chassis either, remember, because last year was Barina and that was the first year of 296. So Jeremy Clark takes it from Kaminsky, Franco, Cook, Grintovich, Favre, Bitton and Perina. 203.3. There we go.
Yeah, I talked yesterday with Roberto about the S's and his spun, and you mentioned Johnny Kaminsky's 5 poles in a row.
I know.
And the 6th, they didn't show up.
I've done it. Sorry, Johnny. Sorry, Brian. I know they'll be listening down there. They'll be terribly disappointed. I saw them last night. They were like, we love the commentary. Now, I imagine today they're going to be like, you jinxed us, Andrew.
Yeah, maybe before the race we tried to understand what happened, why he had to stop on track.
Yeah, we'll find out what happened to Johnny. We can drop him a message if we don't see him up in the hospitality.
Yeah, he wasn't in his comfort zone on the lap. You could see that something was going on. Even at slow speed, the rotation, the speed, that you could see that definitely there was something going on, and he couldn't do the same things he did yesterday just on the one lap.
There's the Ferrari Corral, and you can see as well the podiums. A couple of people sitting down on the sofas there watching the footage up on the big screen. The Ferrari HQ race truck there with a beautiful collection of cars out in front of it. The pace cars parked up next to that. And then the golf buggies. There's nearly as many golf buggies as there are Ferraris. Occasionally it looks like there's a golf buggy race going on, but these venues are so big that a lot of the drivers either have a little scooter or a buggy to rip around on. And then, of course, the teams have some of them quite homemade specific vehicles which drag the trailers. You can actually see one bottom right of your screen. You can see the trailers with all the tyres on and the little vehicle parked very bottom right there with the flat bed on it. You can put jacks and spares and things on and whiz those round to pit lane, particularly, of course, if you get conditions like we had just now where there's a risk of a shower. Now, we mentioned that it's a Ferrari Racing Days weekend. That means that we bring all the toys along, and we're going to stick around for a few minutes because the FXX program is coming up next. And that is, there's 3 different types of the XX car available. Been running over the last, well, it's quite a few years now, isn't it? The program's been running for, and you can hear the low rumble of them heading out onto the track and heading down towards the S's. These S's, the ones that were inspired by Silverstone's quick corners, then say over the backside is Hockenheim inspiration. What was the other place that was Hockenheim and somewhere else?
SS Silverstone,
yeah,
and then Bahrain,
and Hockenheim for the Turkey 17-18. Yeah, Turkey's turn 8. Sorry, Istanbul Park's turn 8. And here is the XX program. So yeah, we've just had confirmation from Johnny's team. Yeah, there was just a little issue that he wanted to do a reset for. So that might well. So Tony, I mean, that could have been, could be the ABS or the traction control weren't where they wanted, and that hampered the lap time. Or it could just be something simple where it's just not working like it's supposed to work. He may not have had the dash info, whatever it was. He did the reset, and then unfortunately, with Perina dropping it, he didn't get to do another proper quick lap.
Yeah, these things sometimes happen. It's better maybe to have it in the qualifying or than in the race. Sometimes it's a sensor thing. Sometimes these things happen with the race car. So car was running, but you could see that it wasn't 100%. So now they have a good time to fix everything, double check before the race.
So FXX, we mentioned yesterday, some of these guys head out on their own in the cars, guys and girls, don't forget, some of them head out on their own, some of them take their coaches with them. You can see the 3 different models when you look at the variations in the look of the cars, all unmistakably Ferraris. Remember, they're not road legal, they're just track legal, and run by Ferrari for these drivers. If you head down to their garage, if you're here today on track, do head down to the XX garage and kind of wander around, because it's very cool in there. Active aero on the back of the cars. We watch the second element of the wing there. You can see you lift off the throttle and the element comes up, and you get on the throttle and the element will go down, and that's there it is. It's all to do with steering angle, and there the car's moving around. You can see underneath the drivers. So it'll be to do with steering angle, throttle and brake positions. It's all based on the data that they've had from the car. So there you can see a car with a coach sitting inside it as well. Have you spent much time in these, Tony, or not really so much?
Not that much. I've tested a few of these X6 cars, but mainly with the Club Competizione GT, so the actual GT cars. With this one, I've driven less, but obviously seen them for many years, know a lot of car owners that do the events, and yeah, these are very, very specific cars, a lot of horsepower. Only for track use. You cannot run these on normal roads, and inspired by different technology. You have a front engine car, mid-engine car, and one with the hybrid as well. All the 3 models actually in the same picture right now. So these come from the different time and based on the different cars. So I think La Ferrari, Enzo, and the 599.
599 was it? Yeah.
Yes. So different concepts, and yeah, the client owns the car, and normally Ferrari ships, services, runs the car at the weekends and Ferrari racing days like this, and then they go back to Maranello and ready for next event also. So a very tight, friendly, enjoying community who enjoy driving, testing on these beautiful tracks around the world, and then have fun like we had last night.
Yeah,
with the Ferrari Gala.
Yeah, Ferrari Gala dinner. The drone show last night was epic. It started with an incredible Ferrari logo that just hovered in the sky, and it's massive as well. It was hundreds of drones. That dropped into all the different chassis shapes, which was incredible, running through all the different cars that are here this weekend, and their Ferrari Formula One car. It created the 24 Hours of Le Mans trophy at one point, and then finally finished with the prancing horse. And it really was spectacular. You couldn't help but just stand there gawping at it. It was very cool. Lovely venue, say Western themed. Everybody turning up in cowboy boots, and myself, I managed to find a very un-British shirt, which I think some people found quite amusing. But it was a lovely evening, really, really nice. So thank you to Ferrari for putting it on, for all the drivers, and for having us along as well for the evening. Really nice event. The whole weekend's fantastic, isn't it, Ferrari Racing Day? So the F1 cars here, you'll probably see those again later in between our 2 races this afternoon.
Yeah, and the atmosphere in the paddock, a lot of Ferrari fans, these cars, the drivers, the Ferrari crew, very easy to approach. You can get very close to these cars, and I think the number has gone up from 6,000 to, yesterday was mentioned already, 10,000 people buying tickets and coming to see what's happening on track and happening in the pit lane and in the paddock. So from Ferrari Challenge cars to these X6 cars, F1, Clienti, Formula 1 cars from different eras, and also the new concept. We have the GT 488 Modificata, we have the 499P Modificata, and a total of 160 cars, around 30 or 40 cars shipped from overseas, so very nice.
Yeah, great event. Just looking at the forecast for this afternoon to see, yeah, we're saying less than a millimetre for the whole day, so we might have seen the rain so far, but it is a moody day here in Texas, so you just never know what's going to happen later on today. We've got cars lapping here all day long, as we say, for the Racing Days event. The F1 cars will be out later, and you should be able to see a glimpse of them. But we have our 2 Ferrari Challenge races coming up later. First of all, Copper Shell and then Trofeo Pirelli. If you'd like to join us, see whether the rain catches our drivers out on slicks or not. And either way, it's going to be a fantastic race. Regardless of the weather here, we are in for a good time. Thank you very much to Nina J. Paul down in pit lane, Tony Vallanda alongside me, Andrew Coley. We will see you later on today. Enjoy the sounds of the FXX. And at 14:35, that's 2:35 p.m. local time later today, you can join us for the second race of weekend number 3, Ferrari Challenge North America 2026. We'll see you then.